Hello, Ravens fans, and welcome to another season preview. I'm Aaron Schneider, the Sports Information Director at Anderson University, and joining us for our women's soccer preview is head coach Jen Myhre. How are you doing today?
Doing great, Aaron. We're excited to play tomorrow and looking forward to kicking off the season.
All right, and then Coach Myhre, she's entering her 10th year at the program, and we've had some successful years as of late. First, we enter a different type of year this year with a conference-only schedule. And then we have our postseason where the first team and the second team play each other for the championship. The third and the fourth team face each other, the fifth and sixth, so on and so forth. So we have a little bit different dynamic as opposed to the conference tournament that we normally do. But speaking relative to both the HCAC and then just your team as a whole, what are your goals slash expectations for this season?
Our goal is to be our best each and every game. How do we continually, the idea of relentless improvement. So hopefully where we start tomorrow, like we're better by the end of the season. That's collectively as a team and individually, and see it as an individual growth process. And we're excited. The conference this year, I think, has a good parity where we can compete with any team on any given day. Exciting that no matter what contest we go into, we've got the personnel, will be prepared, fight, compete. And I think you'll see a lot of close, exciting matches. And opening up, we start with two strong opponents, both Hanover and Transy, which will be a good test for us. And so, and then overall expectations, I think we have definitely opportunity to compete for those top spots. I mean, top four, top two. Every year we're trying to get into that next level, and it's been great over the last couple of years to see us take that next step. And we've got the group that will fight, will compete, and excited to put it all together.
Okay, and then so going into next, what would you say your team strengths are for this year?
I think we have a group that's very dynamic mobility wise, allows us to have a lot of combination plays in the front third area, and a lot of personnel where we can switch up from a midfielder perspective into the forwards. So you might see a couple different type of formations, how we rotate our midfield group and with the forwards. And then from a back line perspective, it's a new group, but it's a group that's really gelled together. They're fighting hard on the field, and it's fun to see them come together. Last year, we lost almost 7 starters, so it's a little bit of some new pieces coming in, which was nice to have the fall an opportunity to train a little bit and have more than just a week and a half to put it together, which we typically have in a normal preseason. But there's a lot of experience on the field. People have grown and developed, and we say this is our season, our time, and excited that no matter what, we know that those players on the field are going to fight, compete, and work well together as a team.
Okay, so going through what I think we'll do, we can kind of walk through each of our classes, and then in terms of talking through what we have for this year. Obviously we had 11 seniors last year, and there's some players that will certainly be missed, but that doesn't we certainly have the depth where it's more of a strength and retention where that number speaks to, not necessarily a lack of what we have in waiting. So going through what we have, first for our senior class that's returning for this year.
Yeah, so senior group, there's 4 of them that's really staying tight and connected over the 4 years. So just as a goalkeeper, Ty up top, it's working sort of the target, good checking runs, turning. Tori likely an outside mid, being able to make some crosses, some runs forwards and combinations, and then Sarah getting up from an outside back perspective, some good crosses and services, and combining into that final third area in there. And then looking at our junior group, another class of 10 or 11, and it's exciting for them to see those who haven't gotten time in the past, an opportunity to sort of step in, and seeing a lot of growth on those ends. So midfield heavy, but it'll be allow us to a lot of rotations, and then you'll see some along the back line as well, stepping in there. And sophomore group, another group of 9 players, sort of versatility all over the board. A couple strong defenders, midfielders, combinations, and then forward up top. And then our freshman group, another great group, about 10 players. I think there's a lot of like just potential mobility in there. So they're working hard, came in fit and ready, and exciting for them to see them continue grow and develop and just understand our formation, how we play, and just like the little things that we sort of want to fine tune and just perfect on the field.
Yeah, and it definitely seems we've definitely have our versatile type of players in terms of experience for this year. You've got returning starters, you've got players who have played a lot of minutes that are now going to be taking on a much bigger role. You've got people who've seen a little bit of playing time, but now are going to see a lot more. And then we have our incoming freshmen. And of course, when you graduate a lot of people, it's always nice to bring in a lot of people as well.
Yeah, and overall, I think from the whole group collectively is a strong group depth-wise. And so it allows us to really, depending on our opponent, what their strengths are, adjust even formation personnel. And so we're excited because there's a lot of opportunities and different tools that we can use given what our game plan is for each and every game.
All right, absolutely. Now going into our season opener for this year, we have our home. You'll be on the road. It'll be at Transylvania. So what are your expectations for Transylvania in the season opener?
Yeah, it's going to be a good fight and battle on both ends. And then the idea of like, good competition, like you're striving together. And so I think the last couple of years against Transy, we tied them last year. A couple of years ago, might have won 1-0. We've lost 1-0. And so it's very been tight. And they're organized. They're dynamic up top with a couple of their players. Like ourselves, they have a bunch of freshmen coming in. And so we know a couple of the key returner players, how they play in their styles. But then from a freshman perspective, something new. But on the other hand, we're just the same way, where our look this year is a lot different than last year. And so it's sort of fun. We haven't had a scrimmage or something to like prep or like watch game film for a scouting report that way. So we want to work on what do we do best? How can we execute our game plan? Understanding a little bit of things to watch out on their end, but we want to play our game and feel like it's our time.
Okay. What do you do differently with that? With the fact that this is, you're jumping right into things.
Yeah, I think so we watched a couple of their films from last fall, our game, and then later on as they got into the season, just some little tweaks and differences. And then for our aspects, we were able to have like 2 scrimmages inter squad in the fall, was able to play full field, sort of like a scrimmage competition environment this past weekend, which was really nice to be able to see the big picture and how it all comes together, different combinations and lineups they were looking at. And so, we're using it as much as we can to prepare. And, once it kicks off, it's, hey, we'll evaluate during the game itself and make the adjustments that we need to.
All right. And then finally, what does your team need to do this year to be successful?
I think the biggest thing as far as on the field is our speed of play. Like we look really good when we play 1 and 2 touch combination plays. Can we get forward and look into the attack? Our style is the idea of possess to penetrate. Like it's great to move the ball around, but we want to look forward. We want to get numbers into the box and have a lot of runs in that area. And so for us to be successful, you have a good touch, find feet, find those split runs, and then to the creativity in the attack and the mindset to finish. Sometimes I feel like we work the ball around a little bit too much because we want to keep it moving versus, hey, we want to look at the goal and take those chances and opportunities. From a defensive standpoint, we want to be strong. We want to just step up, deny, and be able to just really the idea of if someone's going to have to work to win the goal or get in behind us in those spaces. So the more the collective we can play as a team, move the ball around, and then just, got to finish your opportunities and chances. We've had some games in the past where we've played really well, but at the end of the day, you've got to finish the score. So that's going to be key this year. And feel like we have a couple of key players that have those opportunities to take those touches and make those finishes count. And then just the longevity of short-term mindset of let's focus on each game one at a time. And so it's not like, all right, we're looking transient and then we're also looking at the rest of the season. How do we focus on today, stay connected as a team, just there to support and encourage, and really just enjoy the season. Like it's an opportunity for us that some schools don't even have. And so be thankful for every practice, every game, and make the most of it, and just enjoy the journey throughout the season.
All right. Well, I think I've covered all the questions I want to. Ravens fans, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to follow along with more previews and any other content that we'll be putting out. And And also be sure to follow along your Ravens as the women's soccer takes on Transylvania tomorrow. Coach Myhre, thank you for joining us and good luck tomorrow.
Thanks, Aaron. Appreciate all you do.